All right, and we can get started here. Thanks for joining this information seminar slash webinar, everybody. Thanks for taking the time out of your day. My name is RJ Sahani. A little bit about myself. I'm the business development manager here at ByteNite, and I'm currently located out of Menlo Park and Santa Clara. And this is a great opportunity for us to tell you a little bit more about ByteNite and answer any questions that you may have at the end. We have a Q&A section and a chat, so just put your questions in there, and then we'll try to answer as many of them as we can at the end of this seminar. Some things we'll discuss are just a brief introduction to ByteNite, some pieces of the business model. Nicolo, the CTO, will discuss security and some other developer approaches, and then we'll end it with what we've done so far and what our plans are for 2024. Without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Fabio. Take it away.
Thanks, RJ. It's great to have you all here. I am somebody I know, somebody came across ByteNite either through WeFunder or somewhere else. I'm also curious, how did you find out about us in the first place? My name is Fabio. I am the CEO and founder of ByteNite, and I'm happy today to guide you through some of the main topics of ByteNite, like where do we come from, what is the business idea, business model, where we're at, where we're going, this kind of things that a startup must share with its network. And if it's not enough, what we do on the social media and on our website, this is the right way and the right occasion for us to share more and welcome your questions. So I'll just take it away by introducing myself and the company and the origin of the company very quickly. I am a 26 years old entrepreneur coming from Italy. The idea started back in Italy when I was doing my master's degree in data science and economics. And I worked with a lot of financial and healthcare data with some internships in my university. And I saw how burdensome it can be to process data in the cloud sometimes. And at the same time, I was working on some prototype of Android app with some other developers from my university, and I saw also the potential of these devices. Mobile or desktop devices hold a tremendous computing power, and there are currently 12 billion of them around the world. So, just right after the pandemic, I think it was the second wave in 2021, I had this idea, and Raffaele, our first investor, decided to endorse his idea and was generally excited about the potential it had. So that's how ByteNite started, from an idea and a lot of a conviction that this can really change the world of computing. But I'm gonna share a few words on the idea and business model in a minute. But I just want to share how all of this originated. So we're nothing more than a few passionates and experts in this field that really believe that we can do better with what we have today around the world. And since Italy was not enough for us, we wanted to extend our boundaries and reach a wider network and a greater potential. We decided in 2022 to move the company to the United States, to San Francisco, where I am living now and where the company is a headquartered. And so far it's been just a sequence of successful steps and achievements that brought our company even higher and higher and made us a lot of contacts and expanded our network. So what is ByteNite about? What is all this fuss around, our idea and moving to the Silicon Valley and, what do we do? So again, there is a lot of computing power that is unutilized, and um, today all the computational power required by customers around the world is currently provided by cloud server farms that are massive facilities with thousands of devices that are stacked in racks, and so need to be cooled down. So they require a lot of energy. And besides, they are owned by these cloud providers themselves. So the cloud providers can decide to ramp up the prices. They can decide to give you more or less depending on the availability, and the overall computing power is limited. So if you want to go to the cloud, you have to comply with their requirements and availability. Not that all of this is bad, but intensive computing is skyrocketing, and we've had a global chip shortage in 2020. So we have to find a new way to face the increasing demand for computing power, and the answer cannot be just the cloud. We need to find a way to reutilize the resources that we currently have and optimize the usage so that we have a second alternative, actually a third alternative, where the first one is on-premise computing, the second one is cloud computing, and the third one would be distributed computing. So at ByteNite, the main idea is leveraging this unutilized power of 12 billion and more devices that sit idle on our desks or in our pockets. And by that, I mean desktop devices owned by individuals or businesses, from computers to small servers, and up to any smartphone that we own. Those devices are increasingly performant and can be utilized as computing nodes, so as part of a distributed data center. What are the benefits to it? So first of all, we can unleash this computing power, right? This computing power would be wasted otherwise. And that brings in a lot of perks, a lot of benefits to multiple entities. First of all, it brings benefits to the owners themselves because they can monetize those devices. They can earn. We have computed that they can earn up to $150 per month out of each device they share. So that's a great achievement. It's something you cannot do without a software and a system that collects all this power and creates a marketplace, a sharing economy like what we're doing. Second, this brings a benefit to the environment. The environment is affected by the usage of massive facilities where cooling is required and where more and more silicon needs to be extracted from caves. With the reuse of all these devices, you give a second life to them, and you are basically taking away some of the energy usage of data centers. Then there is, of course, a great benefit for the customers, and this comes in terms of speed and in terms of cost. Why that? With our super innovative and patented technology, we are able to speed up computing even 10 times relative to cloud providers. We've run some tests on our flagship application, which is video encoding, and we ended up being 10 times faster than AWS. This is a remarkable achievement, given that we are an early stage company. We don't have massive data centers like AWS. We basically have a beta product yet. So factoring in all this, ByteNite is really at the forefront of innovation in a cloud computing space. We are trying to do something that others have attempted in the past, but we're giving it a new perspective, and a perspective is the one of the customers. We really want to build, we are building products that are customer centric. We are building something that is usable, is friendly, and is totally documented and easy to use for customers. We're not building a distributed computing system which faces the complexity of all the configurations. If you can just go up a little bit with the on the pitch page with RJ, I just wanted to show how the system is structured. Just a little bit up. So we have a layered system where on top we have applications that are built for, here we go. That are built directly for customers and by customers. So our customers can either use our prepackaged applications like video encoding or generative AI or 3D rendering, or they can they can build and deploy their own applications and run them on top of our distributed infrastructure and our computing platform. So the process is comparable to what you do on other cloud platforms such as Google Cloud or AWS. It has a centralized API and a web UI. And everything is bundled into a few parameters that you can configure. But the whole complexity of the scheduling and sorting of the tasks and the partitioning of the data, which is a step that you have to make for the distribution of your computing, is handled by us. Specifically, it's handled by the core system with a patented algorithm that basically decides what are the best devices in real time to send the tasks to. And the tasks are not only optimized based on geography, RAM, CPU, network speed, but they are also optimized in size. So we make sure that we send chunks that are sized properly for the kind of task and also for the kind of devices they're ending up to. For example, for video encoding, we get a video from a customer, and on the go, we chunk it down into hundreds of small tasks, of small segments. Each of them is like probably 15 to 20 seconds long and 40 megabytes each on average. So this way, we make sure that each device can handle the task properly and in the shortest amount of time possible. And all of this factors in the tremendous speed that we can achieve. As I said, we can get as much as 10 times faster in AWS, and that is not because we own a massive facility, but that is because we overcome the challenge of complexity of computing with our state-of-the-art distributed computing algorithm. Moving on, there are some use cases that we are after, and specifically, we know this solution can be very helpful in 4 fields. First of all, we start with media processing, the one on the bottom left, which we estimate has we can get a potential revenue in 5 years' time of 27 million. The media processing space involves education, entertainment, and surveillance industry, specifically for broadcasters or any online media company that handles large video volumes. What we can do for them is basically streamlining their media workflows with our API and letting them compute on ByteNite with a faster and lighter performance than they have on usually Google Cloud, Azure, or AWS. Similarly, we can empower the graphics rendering and the AI spaces with custom apps that our customers can provide to achieve unparalleled speed and unlock potential use cases such as generation of image sets, like hundreds or thousands of images at a time, something that they can't achieve on the cloud without spending unreasonable sums of money. And finally, the computational simulations field is another big field, especially in the aerospace, automotive, or chemical engineering. I'd like to say we don't have currently customers in that field, but this is a potential industry we can disrupt, or we can bring in additional value to whenever we expand in the coming years. And talking to the market itself, it's a pretty huge one. Like, we are talking about $200 billion and more total addressable market, made of video and graphics processing, and a 93 billion serviceable available market for the cloud software solutions inside the TAM. And we estimate that in 5 to 10 years time, our penetration can be up to 5%, getting us a 1 billion sum. And the reason we estimate this is that everybody is always looking for diversification nowadays and a multi-cloud approach. And if we can really solve issues in media processing or other kind of computing for big companies with production workloads that are critical, we think we can convince many customers to not just maybe leave the cloud, but use us as an alternative to the cloud, and so implement their multi-cloud approach. Finally, regarding the other side of the system, so the workers, I've received a lot of questions from you, and which I'm happy to address more thoroughly in the Q&A session later. But we have a worker app that is basically helping, is enabling devices to share the computing power. That's how we access your computing power, and that's how we create the computing grid. So what our plans in the short term is to open the worker app usage just to desktop devices, because they're more manageable and they're more capable. So what we're going to do is by the end of the second quarter of this year, June 2024, we're going to release a desktop app and invite some of you to start computing with us and accruing credits that you can later convert into money. And another plan for this year is also partnering with some small data centers, so like small providers that can bring in some additional computing power without without introducing too much complexity. And when we are ready with all of this setup, so probably after this year, we'll be ready to release the Android app as well. So that has a bigger market. I mean, everybody basically has a smartphone, and we're happy to open the usage to the smartphones too. So yeah, probably that will come in the beginning of the next year. But stay tuned for the release of the desktop app. And to answer your questions on the estimated revenue for the app, if you leave it running 24/7 for 1 month, you can earn as much as $150 after tax and after the cost of electricity. So it's a big incentive, and it's a big game changer, because there's no app that allows you to do such a thing today, including blockchain apps. They have different model and different like different payout methods. You need to have a crypto wallet, but not all of us have it. So yeah, we're anticipating a big momentum on this, and we're happy to welcome more and more beta testers as we release new features and as we release the app. So just stay tuned for it. I just want to go over a quick demo of the platform and take this as a chance to show our pricing. So on the customer side, how do we price for our services and how do we make money? So allow me to share my screen. Here we go. Okay, this is our computing platform. If you see here on the left, you have 3 tabs, and they're gonna be more and more as we add more applications to our service offering. But if I head over Wallet, you can see that this is where you have all your credits. And let me spend a couple of words on that. So at ByteNite, we think the best way for taking account of all the transactions and the payouts and the revenue from customers and substantially pulling together all the services into a unified payment system is to use a custom currency, which we call ByteChip. ByteChips are not cryptocurrencies. They're just a utility fake token that we use, but they has a monetary value, both for the customers who pay for ByteChips and for the workers who can accrue ByteChips and then redeem them for real money. So ByteChips are somehow real money, except you cannot exchange them with other users, but you can monitor and like manage them in the wallet section of your profile. So as a customers, what I can do to start any processing job is to start purchasing ByteChips. So I can purchase ByteChips right from the wallet section, and I have 2 options. So in order for us to be flexible and allow different use cases, like sometimes customers just need to do a couple of jobs, like a couple of video encodings, and that's fine. But sometimes, they are actually becoming recurring customers, and we need to set up some recurring payments. So we came up with a subscription method. Basically, you can top up your account with ByteChips every month with a custom amount. And the way we handle this is by giving 10 price points or 10 ByteChip amounts that you can purchase right from the wallet section here. Each package has a price which declines with the amount of the package. So we offer discounts for larger amounts, and also we offer discounts on the subscription packages compared to the one-off purchases to incentivize recurring customers. So this is in a nutshell how to get onboarded with the pricing and with starting your computing jobs on ByteNite. And this is the way we make money, and we are planning to onboard more and more customers, both on the B2B, both on the B2C side, and they will all share the same payment system through the ByteChips. Well, this said, maybe I can leave the floor for some more technical insights on how to run custom applications on ByteNite.
Thank you, Fabio. As we already said in the presentation, ByteNite is a general purpose system, so we can run any kind of application that could be parallelized and distributed. So what is a distributed app? It's basically just a Python script that runs in a container. It's composed by 3 main files. One is the Python entry point. One is a manifest file that defines input and output we need it in order to correctly split the input data in chunks and merge the output data back in a single file or in an output product. And the JSON schema that we use to validate parameters for single processing jobs and to generate a user interface. Everything I said is documented on this URL, docs.bytenite.com/docs/applications. And I can provide you an example for both an app and the testing script to run your distributed apps locally before submitting to us. So what happens under the hood? Sorry. Every app, so every single worker processes a chunk of input data that could be a video segment or a bunch of images, and has access to the parameters submitted for that specific job. Every app has an entry point script, and that is downloaded together with job parameters when every time that the worker has a new task. Every task, so every distributed app produces output files that are saved in a specific directory and uploaded back to the server. Why we decided to divide containers and entry point scripts? Because you can use more scripts for the same container in order to have faster processing at a lower price. So this is more technical flowchart. Basically, when a worker receives a new task, it downloads task details, so job parameters and app manifest and specification. It downloads task data, so a video chunk in the case of video processing. If we have a cached app, we skip the app download. Same for container. If we have a cached container, we don't download it again. I think that's obvious. We configure the directories and the entry point for the container, and we run the script in the container. If there is an error, we notify the error. If there isn't any error, we upload back the result. Everything you see here is handled by our worker app, so developers don't need to build this stuff in the container, but just to save the output in a specific directory. We can how can you build your app? Everything is in the documentation. You create a Docker file with a specific directory that you can leave empty, or where you can add your test script. You write a JSON schema for input parameters so that we can automatically generate the user interface for you. You write a manifest file. It's just a definition of input, output, version, and the container you want to use. You write Python entry point, and then you ask us for credentials, and you can upload everything to our private registry and our cloud bucket, and then ask for a review. It will take about a week, and after the review, we'll send you details about how to run your app in production and a custom pricing. An automated API for this is coming soon. Just a quick note about security. We're same people, so we have standard security practice in place, like TLS. We have a passwordless authentication. We have a secret storage, so we store everything external connector credentials in a separate database in an encrypted manner. We have two kinds of workers, trusted and untrusted, so that sensitive workloads can run only on workers that are directly controlled by us or by trusted partners. We have also two systems to detect anomalies on untrusted workers. So we detect time anomalies, and we send honeypot workloads. Time anomalies indicate tampering attempts, while honeypots detects data leaks, so that we fingerprint some data in order to detect which worker leaked the data if this happens. We're also developing confidential containers. So this is a system that leverages hardware capabilities to run trusted workloads on untrusted machines.
Thank you, Nicola. And building up on what you said on trusted workers and the difference between trusted and untrusted workers, I would like to connect here the topic of the B2B and B2C side of our business and just end this conversation with the plans for 2024. So we have two lines of business. One is a B2B line. Basically, we sell our platform as a service to customers who are businesses, and we're starting with customers in the media space. Our first pilot is a company that deals with digital asset management for big media companies. So they need to deduplicate content, and in order to do so, they need to scan the videos and process them and add some more like operations to the frame processing. So we're doing that for them. Connecting the topic of the trusted workers, we are leveraging trusted devices, which are either our devices or devices from trusted partners, to process those workloads, because those are sensitive workloads and they're coming from a business customer that has some legal requirements for data processing and disclosure. And this is the first use case, and then in the first line of business. So we're just gonna, in 2024, we're just going to keep on, attacking this market by leveraging our personal networks and the network that we build when we go to industry events and trade shows, such as the NAB, the IBC, and so far and so forth. We are more and more present in this industry, the video processing industry, and we're excited about all the other opportunities that are gonna open up for us with the release of the custom app maker. So giving everybody the possibility to build their own apps without further interaction with us. So this will definitely speed up the customer acquisition time on the B2B side. But then we have a B2C side of the business, and that's how we're planning to gain more and more small users, like any video maker who needs to process their videos quickly and cheaply, and maybe they also want to do that while they're saving their videos to Dropbox, or they're configuring some workflows with Zapier. So that's exactly what we're doing now, and we're gonna keep doing for the rest of the year, and that is creating integrations with big marketplaces such as Dropbox, Zapier. These two are already done, and we're gonna go on with Google Drive, Adobe Exchange, Google Chrome Store. So all these integrations will help us reach a wider audience and will give the respective users the tools to access this complementary service, which now is just video encoding. But as we move on, we're planning to release a generative AI app, which we anticipated in 2023. and following a 3D rendering app. So all the users of these marketplaces will be able to access these ByteNite applications as a ready-made service, and often with the ready-made templates and presets, so they don't have to be particularly knowledgeable in the field. So this way, we're planning to gain some 4,000 users by the end of the year. And we are planning basically to expand our outreach and our audience to more and more small customers and developers that run smaller workloads than businesses, but are greater in number and are leveraging and appreciating our ready-made applications. So to move ByteNite towards some of a software house where many applications are gathered together. And just repeating really quick the topic of the worker app. Any of you who invested in the WeFunder campaign is automatically added to the worker app waiting list, and expect to hear from us again by the end of the second quarter of the year with an invite to install the application on your devices. So the first ones who will accept this will get the app, and then we'll just move on down the list as new spots open up. But if you didn't invest in WeFunder, of course, you can invest now. Or if you just want to be added to the bottom of the wait list, you can go to our webpage, ByteNite.com, and head over the worker app waiting list section and fill out the form, and we'll reach out to you when there's a spots available. I think that's all.
To just need to add one thing, that our WeFunder campaign is closing on February 21st. And so if you want to make any investments and get on the worker app through WeFunder on the waiting list for the worker app, the date is February 21st. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, RJ, do we want to go over some of the questions received?
Yeah, sure, let's do that. If anybody, we're gonna open this up to Q&A now, and so if anybody has any questions, you can either raise your hand or put your question up in the chat. I see Caminando has a question. Fabio, where does the $150 number come from? And this is about the suppliers of the worker app, and how do you calculate it if there isn't real customers now?
Yeah, sure. Carminando, I think I can illustrate this quite easily with a comparison to a Google Cloud machine. So if you rent a Google Cloud standard for N2 VM, it costs around $140 per month as the current pricing goes. And an N2 standard for VM is nothing special. It's almost as capable as your computer, if you have a Mac or just a ThinkPad. It's totally comparable to it, and it is also a machine that is not 100% guaranteed to be always up and running. So $140 is what you pay on Google Cloud, and if we price our service similar to Google, you could expect to earn roughly that amount after our fees and with a similar machine. But however, it is essential to keep in mind that cloud applications such as video encoding or generative AI are more expensive than simply renting computing power. So the price that we're offering to you, the payout we're offering to you, $150, already accounts for the price of the machine plus the software, which is the markup that we add. And so we're going to take out a 30% out of the actual price we receive and give you about $150. So you can expect, a customer to pay around $200 per month for using your device. Of course, they won't rent your specific device, but in a distributed way, that's a value that you can get after our our fees, which again account for 30%. So no need to have this system in place to estimate that, because it's a very simple calculation we make based on our pricing and on the pricing of similar services.
Yeah, just to add on, I think one of the greatest things about ByteNite is its circular model that we're trying to establish more and more. By 2030, I think most executives are going to be trying to shift their business emphasis towards a circular model where we're not only trying to benefit the environment, but also trying to create a sharing economy. And so we're always going to value the aspect of the sharing economy and want to give back to all these suppliers who are going to be helping us out with this dream of distributed computing.
Of course. I see some other questions related on the same topic in the sign-up form. What kind of devices can I start collecting for this? Also, what kind of revenue could someone generate being part of this network? Question from Benjamin. So Benjamin, the revenue side, I think I've explained with the previous question. Regarding the devices, maybe Nicola can answer, but if I'm not wrong, with the first iteration, all desktop devices, so mounting Linux, Windows, and macOS are available. Nicola, can you confirm that?
Yep, that's correct.
Perfect. So these desktop devices really need to have minimum requirements, but I would say any device produced after 2005 is capable. Of course, once you sign up and you install the app, we're gonna run a benchmark test to see, if your device has something more than 4 GB of RAM. So it needs to have some standard requirements, but nowadays the old devices basically meet some standards such as 4 GB of RAM or an Intel i5 processor or something like that. Yeah, so the first iteration will support desktop devices. But if you have Android devices, ready up for the second iteration, which we have an app ready for, but we're just waiting, as I was mentioning previously, for strategic reasons to open it up. And once we release it to our network, we'll let you know. I think there's a more technical question on the processor side. Maybe Nick, you have some insights on that. Will the Worker app run on ARM chips like Apple Silicon?
It will run on every desktop machine that can run Docker. Apple Silicon would be especially good because of high performance.
Thank you. Any more questions? Any doubts, insights you want to share? Just feel free to open your mic or type in the chat. I would like to say that we're really grateful to the 120 investors that chipped in our WeFunder campaign. And that is a great way, and probably is going to be the last chance to be a shareholder of ByteNite. So thanks again for anybody who's here, who invested in ByteNite. And as RJ was mentioning, we're closing up soon on February 21st. So if you have any relative, friend, colleague that you think might be interested in this, in investing in the future of computing, please let them know about this campaign, and I'll also be happy to jump on a call with them to explain and illustrate further.
All right, this is the end of the webinar because we're short on time, but I've posted the emails of Fabio, Nicolo, and myself in the chat. And if anybody has any questions that are pressing, or if you're just anything curious about ByteNite, please don't hesitate to reach out. And thank you all once again for attending this webinar. This is the first of a series of webinars that we're planning to host in 2024. And we hope to see you in the future ones as well. But have a great rest of your day, everybody. Thanks again.
Thank you all. Have a great day.